Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Hope you are having a fantastic evening. If not, I'll try to cheer you guys up as I usually do. See, I keep saying this. I try to cheer people up, and then I read you two or three very depressing news sources, and everyone gets upset. But the question of the day is are people going to watch the new Terminator with geriatrics Arnold Schwarzenegger? I really like Arnold as an actor. I was really upset when he became a governor because a lot of his acting career was put on hold. But I understand he was an actually good governor. Like a lot of people are happy about him. Kind of makes sense if you think about it. Like he already had fame, he already had money. The only reason he got into politics is because of ideology. Now, I disagree with him on recent issues. Like I saw some of his responses towards Donald Trump, but like I disagree politically with him. However, I can respect the fact that he wasn't like a corrupt politician that was trafficking influence and that type of thing. Yeah, I mean, he was a Republican, right? He was the Republican of California. Yeah. It was a little bit weird that he started attacking violence in video games, and then I looked at some of his violent movies. But yeah. So the question is, are people going to go and see the new Terminator? See, I'm a really big fan of it. Like, I genuinely liked almost all of the Terminators. A lot of people, like they only liked one and two. I liked all of them. I like them. What can I do? This new one doesn't seem like something I will enjoy, though. But anyway, Alex's musical ears are being disrespected by the sound. No, the sound is fine, man. Like it's just like yesterday. I close this and then I open it and it's the same. Like I don't modify anything on it. Like the only good thing that you can do with the Terminator that would actually work would be a TV show that is taking place within the future, and really that's it. Like you can't milk the story anymore. There's nothing else to milk. So just make a TV show in the future. Now I used to watch the Sarah Connor Chronicles, and it was really good. And when they finally get to the future, when they finally get to the action, the show is closed. So, Salvation was boring. Yeah, it was still a Terminator. It's like a bad pizza. It's still a pizza at the end of the day. What do you mean I sound like I'm in the toilet? You know what? I shall verify this. I will verify this piece of lore. I was really upset when he became a governor because... yes, the gain is a little too high. Let's try minimizing the gain. How about now, huh? I'm sorry I can't afford the microphone at the moment. Right now I can't even afford clothing. I realized that I made a mistake. You see, when I moved house, when I decided to change places, I looked at my wardrobe and I said, I got a lot of old clothes. I'm going to donate some to needy people. And it was summer, and I donated almost all of my warm clothes. And now I'm like, whoops, shit. But apparently now the sound is too low. I'll leave it at this. If you don't like it, tough shit. But anyway, let me tell you something interesting. Right? Something interesting, huh? The most unlucky man in the whole world. I will tell you about him. We're talking about a Twitch streamer. So as he's streaming Twitch, let me see if I can bring the article up. This is just something that I couldn't believe when I was reading, but alas, it is legit. So let me see if I can find it. I believe it's a Gundam tweeted about it. There we go. So this guy, he's doing real life streaming, which is something really dumb in my opinion. You should never do it. Like almost all real life streamers get into trouble at one point or another. And he was carjacked. And not only did he get carjacked, he got shot. And in their infinite wisdom, Twitch decided to ban him. His own livelihood went like that. Like Thanos, right there. So not only does he get shot on air, but Twitch decides to permanently ban him. Now, here's the thing. I understand that Twitch doesn't want to see, someone getting shot on their platform, but why not just remove the video and not give the guy a strike or anything? Like, he got shot. I think he learned his lesson not to stream with guns on Twitch. I think he got the memo. I think he's aware now. All right, like, he should apologize before getting shot, saying, "I'm sorry for breaking Twitch's community guidelines. Like, please, I'm sorry if it's inconvenient, Twitch, that I'm getting my card stolen and I'm getting shot on air on your platform. I really apologize for this inconvenience. However, these things are out of my hand." He did get fired in 2 ways, yes. No, I don't have a physical address you can send super chat. You can use PayPal or you can use Streamlabs or this channel. But yeah, like, no, he got fired in 2 ways, and a lot of people are calling the Twitch assholes. So yeah, like, people are complaining about the audio. All right, this is the thing that I got, right? Audio output, video capture device, display capture, and audio input. So let's remove them and put them back together, right? Okay, is it better now? Let's see if it works. Okay. Seems it's still not alright. Okay, let's try the other one then. Oh, hold on. I think I see what the problem is. Why are there 2 here? Okay. How about now? Is it better? I need confirmation from the chat. Alright. Okay, we managed to fix it. Thank you. Alright. I think I made an error when I made the bookcase with the windows. The problem is that before putting windows on my bookcase, I just had the books and they gathered a lot of dust. And it made me cough and sneeze a lot. So, while it is healthy, there's also a lot of echo because it bounces back. I don't have foams on windows. I do have drapes. So there's that. And, maybe I need to put a little bit more furniture in this room, but we'll see. All right, let's talk about other things, because there were a couple of important happenings today. Apparently, Justin Trudeau, and I'll make a video about this. Justin Trudeau was caught blackfacing again. Like, this might be the 3rd time. Apparently, I need to be offended. Like, this is what I understand. Offense is objective. Okay, like, when someone does something offensive, everyone is offended. Every single person is offended. When someone does a bad joke, then humor is not objective. Okay, like, humor is very inclusive. Humor needs to be. Why do we, care about people who are offended, but like, for example, if someone doesn't laugh at a joke, why isn't he the problem? This is what I don't get. Like, if I say a racist joke and a person doesn't laugh, why isn't that person the problem? It would be like the reverse of caring about offended people. I'm offended that the guy didn't laugh. Like, look, here's an example. And I showed this yesterday. But in case you missed it, there were 2 clowns in the Soviet Union. Here we go. And one of the clowns, as they were doing their skit in the circus, they used to be Bolsheviks, but they then changed their opinion once Lenin got into power, and as he was making fun of socialists, the KGB started opening fire. Well, not the KGB, at the time, the riflemen, part of the revolution, decided to open fire on the people who laughed in the circus, right? So jokes are very dangerous, they're very harmful to the person that laughs and to the person that says the joke. Bim boom pow pow, yeah. Can you talk about the communist Nazi ban in Eastern European countries and your take on the contradictions thereof of free speech and advocate big ups? Yeah, so my country does have free speech in its constitution. It's one of the few nations in the world that actually has that. However, you're not allowed to have a communist party, you're not allowed to have a Nazi party, you're not allowed to deny the Holocaust. Now, the thing with the Holocaust, it is in legislation, but no one has ever been persecuted for it. And I don't think anyone has been persecuted for like creating a communist party either, though no one actually tried, so we don't know what would happen. Personally, I don't like it, to be honest. I think people should be able to create, like the communist parties. Because here's the thing, like this law is redundant. If someone wants to have like a Marxist party, they will just name it something else. Like for example, the new neo-Marxists. Like neo-Marxists aren't recognized by the classic economical communists to be communist, right? Like all of these social justice warriors, if you take them and you put them in Soviet Russia, they would be lined up against the wall and shot. Why? Because they're all white bourgeoisie, stemming from the middle class. They all are very pro-capitalistic in nature by purchasing iPhones and stuff like that. But most importantly, they're all pro-LGBT, which was a criminal offense in Soviet Russia. So, I genuinely don't think that these laws actually can be enforced. Because again, like, okay, they can't start the Communist Party of Romania. All right, well, they're going to start the Socialist Democratic Party of Romania. It's legal, it's one of the biggest parties in my country. I wouldn't call it particularly communist. It's more like a corrupt party. We don't really have party ideology. The only party ideology that we have is United We Save Romania, and those are full-blown social justice warriors. But other than that, like, no, there's no ideology. There is no party that is like right-wing or left-wing. It's like everyone is vote for us because the other people are corrupt. That's literally why I don't even talk about Romanian politics. Alex wants to finance me to having a party. Well, Alex, if you actually look at how difficult it is to create a party in Romania, you would understand why there's the same parties since the communist revolution all the way till today. Literally, like the same, with very few exceptions. It's almost impossible to create a political party because of the bureaucracy. Yeah, I mean, as people are saying, oh, we are socialists, not communists. Like, it doesn't work. It's got literally no legislative power. Like, no one is going to just... And like, this is actually a bad thing, because I would rather have, like, someone stand behind the hammer and sickle and expect votes than to have someone that's like, oh, we're not really communist, even though they are. Like, there was this lady at United We Save Romania that was talking about property expropriation. I need to look it up. But she was actually talking about confiscating people's private property. Like, that is communistic. That is communistic in nature. But again, like, it's not, even though technically it's illegal to make a party, they're like, oh, well, she didn't know. I'm genuinely curious, like, how many of them even know what they're talking about. Like, a lot of people just hear good things and don't think about them, and then they push for them. But yeah, let's go back to Trudeau. So I want to make a video, and I'll show how Trudeau has his goons hurt a lady with osteoporosis. And there's almost zero backlash against that. Like, almost no one talks about it. But oh my god, 10 years ago he had a makeup at a party. Oh. I'm just thinking, like, is this where the priorities are? Like citizens being persecuted because they ask the Prime Minister a question? That is like, who cares? But oh my God, 10 years ago he had black. Oh. In Canada, right, where I understand it was a land that was very very oppressive towards black people, and yeah. Uh, Jesus. Let's see what else we got. We got Pope Francis. You know, every time Pope Francis. Oh, there is a third one. Okay. Now here's the thing with Pope Francis that I appreciate. He makes me come back to religion. Right now, as you guys know, I'm an atheist. All right, I don't believe in Jesus. But whenever there is something that I read from Pope Francis, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, you know, like he actually makes me return to my old habits. So apparently, in his infinite wisdom, His Holiness the Pope speaks out against life imprisonment. It diminishes hope. Well, here's the thing, right? Like, in order to get life imprisonment, you need to do some really nasty shit. And some of these people cannot be rehabilitated. You know, like serial killers, pedophiles. I'm not talking, you know, like about the intellectual criminals, the ones that manage to cheat the state, cheat Uncle Sam out of his taxes. No, I'm not talking about the intelligentsia of the criminals or the organized crime, like, for example, the Don Abruzzi. You know, like, no, not these people. But I'm talking about, like, people that legitimately have something wrong with them. So I suggest that the Pope takes a couple of them in his own house. I think this is, you know, like, do what you preach. Just do it. You know, like, take away some of the criminals, the most wanted criminals. By the way, like, if he were against the death sentence in the United States, I would have agreed with him. Here's the thing, like, why did people invent the death sentence? In order to dissuade others from doing criminal activity, right? And back in the day, it would be a public execution. Even the French had their favorite guillotine. And you know, people would be abhorred, and they would be like, oh, I don't want that to happen to me, so best not commit crimes. In America, it's done behind closed doors. No one even gets to see what it's like. And man, when I looked at it, it is, you know, like the Americans have in their constitution that you're not allowed to have cruel and unusual punishment. No, the death penalty is cruel and unusual, and I'll tell you why. It's not the syringe. It's not the way they. It's not even the death. No. The problem with the death penalty is that the people who are on death row are going to stay for 20 to 30 years on death row. So what this means is that they are being placed in a room the size of a bathroom with no television, with no radio. It's you alone in a cell, and that's it for 30 years. And they get like 1 hour out where they go into the courtyard, and they have like this big cage, and they manage to, you know, spend 1 hour there. And when they come back, apparently, like, some of these people who are placed on suicide watch, except for Epstein, every 30 minutes a guard comes and is like, are you okay in there? You know, and you have to say yes. So they can't even sleep. That's sleep deprivation. Like, round the clock, every 30 minutes. You know, like, honestly, I would prefer to be, you know, going to a tick in the medieval time period and just get it over with than be subjected to that. Like, can you even comprehend, like, 30 years of your life in a room the size of a bathroom? And by the way, some of these people are innocent. Like, there were cases, and we're talking like 400 people or something, that were convicted and were innocent. I mean, come on, you know, that's beyond fucked up. I don't know, like, just, you know, if you want to kill them, do it and get it over with. But like this is definitely cruel and unusual. And, you know, like, yeah, I get it. Some people, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Farm Dog says, feed the cats and get some sun on your skin for fuck's sake. Do I need sun? Usually it's dark because I pull the drape so that there's no echo, but I do go out in the light. People want me to talk about the titties. I mean, I can talk about the titties. What do you want me to say about the titties, huh? It's YouTube's regulations, man. Like I'm just following the rules that have been laid before me, and but not only that, there haven't been any titties in the news recently. I mean, if you want me, like I can show you. Let me see if this is something that I can show on YouTube. Just give me a second. Yeah, I think it's okay. So it's the cover of a magazine. I am God. I am the creator. I am powerful. Powerful. I am beauty. I am melanin made. I am mother of all civilization. I am carbon based. I am the original woman. I am magic. I think you are the mother of all harlots. What is this? 666. The Bible warned me of you. My priest warned me of the beast, the mother of all harlots. Well, I mean, if you're the mother of all civilization, harlots is a subgroup of civilization, and if you're a member of the major group, you're also, responsible for the subgroup. There you go. Is your titties is your titties satisfaction achieved? Like, you wanted me to talk about the boobies? What type? Like just how insecure do you need to be to have something like that? Well, obviously it's not her. She's just an actress, a model. But like, what type of people read that? Like, you need to find out, like, people telling you are beautiful, you are a woman, you are the center of the universe, you are a god. I would shoot myself. You know what? I changed my mind. I would take the 30 years on the death row. Someone wants white titties with pink areolas. Well, I don't think you can find them on YouTube. Unless I show you how to scream for breast cancer or whoop up my shirt. I think that would be funny. That would definitely be something that would pass. Susan Wojcicki would approve that. By the way, all the English people need to understand that the word they is now as a non-binary pronoun. And unlike any other word in the English language, you are forced to acknowledge this one. Okay? I mean, if you don't like to use, I don't know, vase because you think it's vase, that's perfectly fine. But if you go on the Borderlands forum and the fictional character Flack, you call him, then you get banned because it's not him, it's they. So be very careful with this word. This word in the dictionary should be written with red. Clearly this is not ideological. This is definitely a grassroots thing. It's not something that was forced top down on people. No. We as a society started using this word, and eventually it made its way into the dictionary. So the recognition of they as singular, non-gender specific pronouns comes as its usage grows in popularity. Here's the thing, right? Why do we have genders? Which is a social construct, right? Because if you look at the way a man is supposed to behave in Canada, to be a feminist ally, to be a pro-LGBT person, to vote Trudeau, right? This is the Canadian vision on the masculine gender, which is completely different than the Japanese version of the masculine gender, and is different than the Saudi Arabian version, right? So every country has like a set of different requirements. The social justice warriors keep saying, oh, we're here to break boundaries. No, you're just here to flip the boundaries upside down and create new boundaries. So, for example, as I mentioned before, a good man is a feminist ally. A good man is, they have their own definition. A good man fights against toxic masculinity. A good man calls out other men when making racist jokes. So no, they're not against like boundaries, no. But there's another reason why we have genders. The main reason we have genders is to streamline social interaction. right? Like it's a level of protocol. Like for example, when you go in and you open the door, for the woman behind you. This is called manners. It used to be before political correctness. It was something to be polite to other people, right? For example, when you meet a group of people in my country, you shake hands with the men and you kiss the women on the cheek. It's certain cultural ways that have developed through time on how people should interact with each other. But when I see an Atterkin fox that goes by they, how the fuck do I interact with that? Do I pull their chair? Do I, what expectations does society have from they? Not to mention, like, this is really pissing off transgender people, because the transgender people that are actually suffering from gender dysphoria, they want to transition to another gender. It's in the name. It's like they transition from male to female. Like, they understand there is a gender. But the people which are they are more likely to be transgenders. Just socialist people shaved on their head that don't suffer from gender dysphoria. They suffer from the mental illness of socialism. So, yeah, this is why, what was her name? This transgender woman from YouTube, forgot her name, it's on the tip of my tongue, got harassed off of Twitter because she spoke against the Day Brigade. But, this is how intersectionality and this is how social justice works. It always eats itself. We know that feminists who are advocating for the deplatforming of hate and the censoring of people that don't agree with feminism are now being deplatformed because they don't believe a transgender woman is actually a woman. And now we're going to see transgender people who are also, you need to deplatform hate. They're going to be deplatformed because they're not okay with the gender non-binary, right? So it's a never-ending thing. I'm curious who's going to deplatform the non-gender binary. Maybe the Atterkin, people who think they're animals and shit. Like maybe they're going to say, well, I don't really think that a person pretending to be a dog is actually a dog. Well, hold on a little bit there. Gabriel Montreal. I gave up Terminator related after Terminator 2. If Trudeau does a blackface cameo in the movie, then I might give it a watch. Also, my Twitter account was suspended over a Sonic meme. Oh my god, like, I hope you get your account back, because I really enjoy some of your spicy memes. How did I meet my girlfriend and how is she? I met her at med school. And she is now in the final year. She's taking the residency exam, and hopefully she'll going to get a good grade. But yeah, no, like, the way they want to do gender is like a fashion. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but if you think about it, it makes sense. Like, what is fashion? It's the clothes that you choose to wear so that other people recognize you as being part of a subculture. So, for example, people who listen to rock dress in a specific way. People who listen to goth dress in a specific way. People who are football fans dress in a specific way. It's the way they want other people to perceive them. And this is the same that they want to do with the gender. It's like you are going to just switch and choose whatever pronouns you want. And it's like fashion. It's like putting on a dress. But this is not the point why we had gender. It is rooted in biology. It is rooted in the way sex works. And apparently they're now fighting even against that. Because when I hear like women can have a penis, I guess like the gender woman can be taken by a man. And like it's consistent with their logic to that point. But when you're telling me that if I don't have sex with a woman's dick, then I'm transphobic, then your logic just doesn't make sense, because I don't fuck based on gender, I fuck based on sexual reality. My dick is highly transphobic, my dick is highly racist, my dick is highly homophobic, and it's got a mind of its own. And bouncing on my dick is a privilege, not a right. So now that we got that established, my girlfriend definitely has the right to scream that she has dick privilege while bouncing on my cock. This is something that every man should point out when someone is trying to pray the gay in. Like if you're a straight man, obviously you don't like the cock, And if I look at a gay man that is sent to conversion therapy, and like people are pressuring him to take the pussy, and everyone is pointing out, yeah, that's bad. That's not cool. That's really not helpful, right? Why would the opposite not be the same? Arnold Schwarzenegger was the first man to have a baby. I definitely agree with that. Will the gay upon the non-believers. Alright, speaking of penises, I'm going to read you from the New York Post, and you're not going to believe this is a title. I mean, alright. I'm going to do this, but I want you guys to be serious. I want you to be serious. I want you to try not to laugh. Alright, like the try not to laugh edition. And if you laughed, you need to press 1 in the chat. Alright, just to know that you're a weak person. So this is a title in an alleged respectable journalistic outlet. Guard with huge stinky penis found guilty of abusing inmates. What can be more beautiful than this, huh? What can overtake this? Like what can be? What? How did they smell it? I mean, let's find out, because I haven't read it. But apparently, he is facing a long, hard stretch behind the bars. Man, this is from the New York Post, okay? Like, I'm not reading you from The Onion or something like that. I mean, yeah, it's an old news. It's from 2018 on the internet. This is ages ago, but still. So a jury found correction officer Lieutenant Eugenio Perez guilty on 23 counts for forcing 4 women at the Metropolitan Detention Center to perform oral sex on him, and propositioning a 5th. He faces life behind bars. Good. See, maybe this is the type of person that the Pope needs to take into his house. Because as we established, Pope Francis speaks out against life imprisonment. Yeah, so Pope needs to take the guard with the huge stinky penis into his house. And I would be fine with it. Less tax bills for me. I know the guy is somewhere far away that he can't hurt any more women from any fellow citizen females, Are there even women in Vatican? I don't know. A jury found the 47-year-old who bragged to the victims that his nickname is Caballo, which stands for horse. Pouted and teared up after the verdict was announced. But I thought he was the stud. Real studs don't cry, huh? I guess even horses have tears. Perez previously sat stoically through his nearly 2-week trial as visibly uncomfortable jurors endured graphic testimony from the victims about his huge hook-shaped, uncircumcised putrid peck. Well, at least he wasn't lying. It was huge, apparently. Imagine being a jury. Just imagine. If it didn't stink, I would have been all over that shit. One 50-year-old former inmate described... Wait. No, this story honestly is trying to kill me. Was it before or after the bracers were taken off? One 50-year-old former inmate described it as so big she wanted to throw... It had to smell like he didn't wash or take a shower. It was a really strong smell. She testified through a translator. Imagine having a straight face, like you're translating and you're hearing that, and you're then you have to act professional and just The feds were able to collaborate the women's stories by getting a warrant for photos of his distinctive junk, which were shot at the the world's first officially solicited dick pic. There is no reason why any of the victims should know anything about his penis. They all remember things about his penis. How would we know these very personal and intimate details if we were... Did they also smell it? Was it like, will the defendant please step up to the jury, take off your pants, allow the jury to smell? The jurors also set off Perez's pattern of bringing the women to a secluded area of the Sunset Park facility and then pulling out his pecker, ordering them to perform oral sex and telling them to stay quiet. A fellow lieutenant was convicted in January of raping an inmate, and another MDC guard pleaded guilty. Why are men even allowed to work in women's prison? I don't understand. Like, I think it should be gender segregated. Like, the inmates are gender segregated, so can we make the guards gender segregated for the same reason? Just my point. Like, yeah, certain aspects of society, like prisons, should still follow on segregation. But maybe I'm not very progressive enough. My God. Was he circumcised? No, he wasn't. But apparently it had a hook. Pixar, it didn't happen. Yeah, literally, that's what the jury told him. Or maybe the defendant's lawyer went like, you know what, Pixar, it didn't happen, and it's like, all right, fine. Let's show the jury Exhibit A. Yeah, it was definitely a hung jury. Oh my fucking God. This definitely took the cake. Alright, now let's do try not to laugh part 2. Okay? Let's see if I can get you guys not to laugh. But again, if you laugh, you need to press 1. I think this is more funny. So shush. It may not look like it. Okay, so the question is, can an explosion be funny? Like an actual explosion, a kaboom, fire, death, destruction. Can an explosion be funny? Generally, people say yes. A semen explosion. So, let's see the funniest explosion in humanity, alright? Massive semen explosion after blaze hits bull artificial insemination facility. Firefighters forced to dodge project. Why did I put my glasses on? Oh. Was it like in the Matrix? Like boom. Alright, so a huge fire at a cattle breeding facility in Australia has caused thousands of dollars in damage after at least 100 cylinders containing bull semen were destroyed. Emergency services were called to the blaze in the early hours. According to ABC, it took 10 fire crews more than 2 hours to fully extinguish the fire after it broke at around 3 a.m. A spokesman from the country said that the fire had completely shredded the building. County Fire Authority Gippsland? I almost read it at Gippsland. Commander Chris Loeshenko said the crew had to be wary of projectiles coming at them while they were tackling the place. Do you know, like, if you get one into your eye, it's going to sting like hell, potentially causing an autoimmune reaction as well. The liquid inside the cylinders was rapidly expanding, and essentially the lids of the cryogenic cylinders were just popping off the top, and projectiles were being thrown. I wonder if they came with force and velocity to floor you, like flash. Man, like, why did no one record this? Why did no one videotape this? Oh my god. So the firefighters went into a defensive mode. Brace for impact command was issued. Because there were also LPG cylinders at the neighboring property, and they did a magnificent job. Loeshenko added that he had never had anything to do with the artificial insemination side of things before in his career. Oh, there is a video. But is it just a reporter talking shit? Yeah, it's just a reporter talking shit. It's not. Oh, goddamn. So. The loss of 100 cryogenic cylinders of calcium would be a huge blow. The actual cylinders are worth between $500 to $1,000, but the semen inside them was priceless. We're coming into the AI season, the OWL season, artificial insemination season, so there would have been substantial amounts of semen inside the tanks that we've lost. From $5 per straw to $95. Thomas said the farmers have also lost a lot of equipment as a result of the fire. Earlier this year, ABC reported the farmers in Gippsland were losing as much as 70% of the regular. Man, I'm sorry, but I can't take their pain seriously. I mean, I get it. I get it. You know, it sucks, but it sucks. Jeez. Yeah, there was definitely some bukkake over here. Can you imagine if a woman... Where the fuck did I put my glass? Can you imagine if a woman is just crossing by and she gets hit by a wad, and, you know, when she goes home, like, her husband wouldn't believe her that she didn't cheat? If female firefighters allegedly will give birth to minotaurs, that's a good one. 9/11 happened with bull jizz on the planes. Oh, I don't know. That's too spicy for my child, man. I can't say that joke. Why is there a picture with a woman eating on that story? Well, it's the algorithm. It's still learning. Let me check the Twitter DM. Allegedly, there's something there that I need to be exposed to. Okay, this is another fucked up case. A man from the United States used a drone to drop explosives on his ex-girlfriend's house. Well, here's the crime. You can't say it was made by accident. Oh no, I didn't premeditate shit. It all came naturally. Prosecutors have accused a Pennsylvania business owner of strapping improvised explosives to a drone and flying it over. The resident was charged with illegally possessing 10 firearms, 7 improvised explosive devices, and a Model 3 Phantom aerial drone. Well, what do you mean, illegally possessing a Model 3 Phantom aerial drone? One of Musicato's neighbor claims Musicato, what a name, would use the drone to drop nails from the sky. Do you know this is actually a weapon called the Hand of God? Let me see if I can manage to find it. No, rods from God. Alright, so it's called rods from God. Now, the reason it's called rods from God is that according to international space treaties, you're not allowed to deploy weapons in outer space. So, an actual invention is rods from God, which just has the metal piles that aren't weapons, and they drop them from orbit. And because of the kinetic power that the object falls from the top, as it reaches the earth, it looks like an artillery strike with really high precision. So, you know, technically not a weapon, but yeah. You are not allowed to have nuclear, biological, or chemical weapons. So, you know, this actually works. So I guess this is the mini version of rods from God. This is nails from God. The court documents reviewed that he claimed that in addition to the drone, he had retrofitted his car to drop nails, ball bearings, and paint via dashboard switches. Man, what the fuck is up with this guy? Is he like the tinkerer? Like, this would be the name, the Tinkerer, finally apprehended. So, and this is a small town, by the way, accused the local business owner of flying a drone strapped with explosive devices over his girlfriend's home. In what world didn't he think that he was going to get caught? Like, you know, when I look at the criminal, there are two things. It's like the plan and how he thought he was going not to get caught. You know, both of these are something that are important. While the makeshift airstrikes didn't detonate, prosecutors are attempting to link the man to a spate of other explosions that have rattled Washington. Well, doesn't matter that they didn't detonate. Like, this is an act. I don't know if it's an act of terrorism because he wasn't trying to push a political agenda, but it is definitely the intention is there to do harm. According to a release from the U.S. Attorney, they found multiple AR-15s. Well, isn't it legal in Romania? And a Model Phantom 3 drone at the time of his arrest. So Musicato combined his homemade bombs with the drone in an unsuccessful attempt to raid terror from the sky. You know what this reminds me of? Let me see if I can manage to get it. Just give me a second while I manage to find. This is what I think of when I hear from terror from the skies. Huh? Was it something like this? Then I used to love this game when I was a kid. Got 5 more California days. This makes me miss the days where drones were used to steal. He will not divide us flags. Apparently, you know, people are using drones more and more intuitively. Like, look at this. Drones deliver drugs and mobiles to London prisoners. The battle against drones smuggling drugs in prisons. Drone smuggling a package to a prison cell window. Let's watch this. This needs to be beautiful. This is probably what Chikushi. To be honest, you need to fidget a lot with the thing until you get this level of flying. Look how lazy the guy from the inside is. Look how lazy he is. It's like he's not even going to like stretch his hand properly. It's like bring it closer, closer. What I don't get is like, why would you videotape yourself while committing a crime? Yeah, maybe it's not a smart idea. Just saying. Oh my god. Just put giant nets around the prisons. Wow, like someone actually came with a good idea, but I think like the drones can start breaking the net. Someone thinks it's a reenactment. That is a possibility. But even if it's a reenactment, like come on. Even if it's a reenactment, just get your hand out. Stop being such a lazy ass. Drones seem like an easy way to get money really fast. I don't know, man. Like if you get caught, you're fucked. But not only that, like apparently the police are now having this device which they aim at a drone and it just go like boom. And there's another device that fires a net on a drone. So yeah. You know, like I'm curious how these people reacted the first time they managed to hear that this happened. You know, it's like, oh, by the way, someone gave it wrong. By the way, I managed to find the political compass that is really funny. So you get like the far right with their anime avatars. You get, I guess the far left with, you know, the the Tumblrites, and then you get the communists, the actual socialists, you know, with the hammer and sickle, and you know the intelligentsia. And I don't know who these people are. I'm sorry. I can't name a single one of them. But you know, it was kind of interesting. Make America great again, huh? Do I think anything will happen with the Area 51 raid? Man, assuming they had aliens in Area 51, if you're going to announce that there is a raid when they like move the merchandise, like you'd think. Not to mention, like even if there's a raid, usually they probably have like a door that requires a key card to open. So what are they going to do? But no, I mean there might be some crazy people that are going to charge it. I don't think they're going to get shot or anything. They're probably going to get, the riot suppression squad. And I mean, it's a military base. You can't just go, yeah, we're going to pay a visit to this military base tomorrow. If I was the US government, what I would do is I would actually, give them a tour. Like, yeah, step this way, take some pictures and fuck off. But yeah. They will find an alien very busy between Bill Clinton's tights. Oof. Alright, let me see if I get anything else for today. If not, I'm going to go to sleep. But alright, I genuinely do not know about this, if it's true or not. But given the fact that it's Star Wars, I'm starting to be inclined to believe it. According to the latest rumor, Episode 9 will have Emperor Palpatine with an entire fleet of Death Stars, and they will be controlled by the Red Sith Troopers. They're throwing the kitchen sink, aren't they? No, the kitchen sink has already been thrown. I don't know, like at this point, they're literally burning the hair on their tits in order to get attention. It's really that level. Jesus fucking Christ. I hope it's not true. I genuinely hope it's not true, but who knows. Alright, and the final thing. My boss let me set my own salary. So, 25-year-old Cecilia Barduca works at there is a pay self-assessment process. Put simply, the workers there decide how much they are worth should be paid. $500,000 per month. For me. She awarded herself a $7,000 rise, taking her annual salary to £37,000. Why not? Why wouldn't she? Deserves it. She deserves it. I mean, who are we to disagree? I mean, it's how much she thinks she should earn. I felt a lot of doubts asking for the raise, she told BBC, as she became the 1% of the population that allegedly the left hates. I took a lot of talks with other people. I was aware that my job had changed. I was aware I was going way beyond my targets. I knew that from a rational point of view I deserved a higher rate, but I had a lot of self-doubt. And I felt sort of greedy because there's always a stigma, a sense that you should be happy with what you have. Yeah, I mean, we need socialism to take away what you have. When I'm jealous. I don't make this much money. Jesus. When I spoke with my colleagues internally and asked for advice, the advice told me, yes, you deserve it. And it was worth it. Our employer helps UK businesses and government funding and all of its 45 staff to set their own salary, which they can review as often as they like. What the fuck is Grantry, though? Let me see. No one says no. Oh, imagine that. The exact process varies from company to company. Grantry staff first gather information about what others are paid elsewhere for roles similar to their own. So how much would the firm have to spend to replace them? Then they look at how much the company can afford to pay them. Think about how much they have grown as individuals since they started. So in other words, this is called negotiating your salaries, and men used to do this without a company holding their hand. But now we have women and they need to have their hand. But they're strong and independent. But when it comes about negotiating your salary, you need Cecilia says the two members of staff at Grantry actually chose to voluntarily reduce their pay after their responsibilities changed. Most company operating pick your own pay, blah blah blah. But again, like, how is this different to what people have been doing and are doing in my country for ages? It's like, yeah, if you go to a company and you're doing a really good job compared to everyone else, you can go ask for a raise. If you're doing a bad job, your boss will fire you and you say, no, don't fire me, I'll just take less Cash. Oh my god. Headline should read: male feminist manager entices his prey by offering salary on checks. Alright, Alex, make a fat joke. Say I'm fat. Tell me that I'm fat, Alex. Because Jimmy Stiff Fingers isn't it. She'll have way less success negotiating her pay the older she gets. I don't know. I mean, it depends on actually how good she is at her work. Alright, Jimmy, then you make a fat joke. You can do it, Alex. You can do it. I have faith in you. Come on, make a fat joke, Alex. Make a fat joke. Boogie me, Alex. Boogie me. Why isn't he doing it? Well, I gave him too much attention and now he's shy. You know, I'm not going to play like this, Alex. I'm sorry. Like, if you're not capable of making a fat joke, I'm just going to end it here. You know, like, I like hanging around with people that have a sense of humor. Clearly, I'm not one of them, so I'm going to have to end the stream now. Thank you guys for watching. Probably going to upload the video later on. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.